to give him a shout out. So Jake Butt at the bottom, which is saying a lot after I just heard what Joel Klatt had to say today. Joel Klatt, he of Big Noon Kickoff fame, who we have to listen to constantly. Joel Klatt weighed in on the Nico Iamaleava thing. Now, the thing about Joel Klatt weighing in on this is he's coming at this from a perspective. He has built for himself kind of this stance that we are, as a matter of fact, it's the lead into his show. We are now entering the golden era of college football, is what Joel Klatt likes to say. Now, I disagree. I think that we have a much more fun postseason in college football. Everything else is nowhere near as good as it used to be when I was younger. You've lost a ton of the things that actually made me gravitate towards the sport. I don't know that I would love it as much now if I was growing up in this era of college football. It seems a whole lot like the NFL to me. But that's the stance he's coming at this with. So when you hear people talk about this Nico situation, like I did the other day, and basically what I said was, number one, it's poetic justice for Tennessee, who went after Nico, paid him $8 million, way overpaid him, and by doing so, reset the quarterback market so everybody else has to pay these astronomical prices. Number two, the NCAA was investigating them over the Nico deal, and the Attorney General of Tennessee took the NCAA to court, wins, and that's what sparks off the NCAA washing their hands of trying to enforce any of this stuff. So the lawlessness that we're currently living in, that's Tennessee's fault. And the fact that after 2 years of paying this kid a total of $4.4 million, this year, year 3, this is their payoff year, that this kid is now not going to be there with them, is poetic justice at its finest. I think it's hilarious that it happened to Tennessee. However, Tennessee did the right thing. By calling his bluff and go ahead, get out. If you're not going to come to practice, whatever, get out. Or however it went down, because some people are saying now that Nico was gone and he didn't come to practice because he was done. Whatever way it went down, Tennessee wasn't going to cave. They weren't going to pay the money. So Joel Klatt had this to say about it.
It's going to land, and it's going to be a story that is driven by this narrative that Nico was greedy, he wanted more money. Tennessee is the heroes in the story, and they said no, and we're just going to go from here.
Nobody is calling Tennessee a hero, but everybody is patting him on the back for doing the right thing, because their decision to not cave to him let's put it this way, had they caved, it just might have reverberated across college football in a way that none of us would have liked to see. Guys strong-arming their teams. And we found out last night from Josh Pate that Nico almost held out of the playoff game, the playoffs. And he said he wasn't the only one. So that's the era we're kind of, by the way, could you imagine those poor Tennessee fans, had they driven all the way up from Tennessee to Neyland North and Nico doesn't play? They might have gotten humiliated and had to leave in the third quarter with their tail between their legs. But Joel Klatt wants to defend Nico in this situation, and he goes further with this.
When in actuality, one, this is totally within Nico's rights because there are no rules. And he held his ground as well, which tells you that it's not just about money, that there's more at play.
Absolutely not. I don't know how you deduce that tells us that. Now, could there have been something more at play? Sure. Does it tell us that by the actions of the Iamaleavas? No, it doesn't tell us that at all. It tells us that they wanted more money. We know that for sure. And you might have been able to sell this. You might have been able to sell that there was something else going on had these folks not tried to sit out of a playoff game. And then when this just broke this week, called the reporter that broke it up and said he was lying and it was fake news. You might have been able to sell it if that wasn't the case. Now, Nico's going to get everything that's coming to him. Number one, coaches don't want him. He looks like a horrible teammate, and they don't want to deal with his dad and him, who's clear. I mean, he seems to be a pawn in his dad's game here, which is unfortunate. However, I know that if I told any one of my kids who are Nico's age that they are leaving their job, moving across the country because they only make $20 an hour and I want them to make 30 over here, they would laugh at me. Regardless, Nico didn't say that to his dad, so we have to assume he's going along with it, right? So that's it. Now, he's a grown man. I got no problem calling him out for his actions. There's some people walking, kind of skirting around that because the dad's the mouthpiece here. This is just as much on the kid, man. He's going to go wherever he's going to go, hopefully. And I really hope that he gets less money than he's getting at Tennessee, because that's what he deserves. Less money. He didn't deserve the $2.4 million, and he's just basing this off of, look, they're talking about $4 million, which is just absurd. The guy has incredible arm talent, but he hasn't shown anything yet. This was the year. This was why they invested the money. I can't wait to see what happens with this. I cannot wait. But it's all good news. It's all good stuff. And Joel Klatt, with his golden era of college football, it is a golden era. Golden era maybe to be a Buckeye fan. Not the golden era of college football. Though the postseason, a whole lot of fun. I'll give him that.